Alright guys, welcome to this new Let's Play with Distant World Universe where we're gonna play the Securan in the Utopian series where we're gonna do diplomacy or intrigue depending on which one is the best. So in our previous episode we made some pretty good breakthroughs. We constructed or improved our spaceports to a medium size. We also developed our star base for doing more research. We begin to expand around the solar system to see what is around us, which is great. But we are having a major problem at the moment, and we're going to try to fix this in this episode. It's our cash flow. All right. Our cash flow is the main issue there. So this episode, we are going to mainly try to resolve this problem. All right, so without any further ado, let's get started. So as I said, like the cash flow situation is getting a little bit worrisome. It's not out of control. It's just beginning to be annoying. Annoying enough that we have to do something about it. Now, just let me do something real fast. Just want to have a little bit more music because I cannot hear the music. Okay. So there is multiple ways where we can solve the problem, and we're gonna need to consider the issue from the point of our race. So we already know that we are having a plus 20% maintenance cost for everything that is ship and starbase related. And we have a bonus of 50% on the colony income, which is good. We also have bonuses on trading and tourism, which is good. But the problem that we have at this moment of the game, if we look at the diplomacy screen, is like the only thing that we discovered so far is pirates. And we're not going to trade with pirates. So we cannot use our diplomats, and we cannot use our trading and tourism at the moment with other races. That being said, there are other things that we can use. So the first thing that I was thinking is that potentially what we could do is change the government to something that it is that will generate less maintenance costs. But the problem is like you will lose also the colony income at the same time. So I'm not necessarily sure if that's going to be the right solution. You see, like for example, military dictatorship. Well, it's not too bad because we're gonna have less wariness, less maintenance. So that's a discrepancy of 35%, going from plus 20% maintenance to minus 15. That's 35%. So globally, this is going to go from minus 12,000 to, I don't know, 9,000-ish, maybe 8,000. And we'll still have plus 50% bonus income from the colony. We're just going to have a minus 10% on the approval rate, which is kind of a problem for us because approval means happiness, and happiness is one of our winning conditions. Now, that being said, we don't necessarily need, because we are playing with a safety time, right? We know that we still have, I think it was 30 years that I put. So let me see, where is the criteria? Yeah, so 30 years. So we are at 2109. We still have 21 years to go in the game. So I could go with military dictatorship for a while. And once the cash would be under control, switch back to the other one. The problem is like when you change government like that, it's gonna create some instability, right? So it's something to take under consideration. Let's see what else. Despotism. The approval is normal. The colony is plus 50%. Corruption plus 10%. Research minus 20%. Yeah, that's a big no-no. Even if we have minus 35% on maintenance cost, it's a big no-no. Yeah, approval normal. Growth rate plus 20%, which is not bad. Minus 30, plus 50. Okay, I can't even say that. Feudalism is not a bad option, honestly. Yeah, globally it's gonna cut our maintenance cost by half, because from plus 20% to minus 30, that's a 50% difference. So then from minus 12,000 cash flow, we have minus 6,000, and we still have a pretty good income from our colony, and the growth rate is also plus 20%, which is going to help us reach the cap of the planet faster. And then once we will discover other races, etc., and we will be a little bit better, maybe we can switch back to Utopian paradise, maybe. Monarchy. Yeah, minus 40%. 40% difference, which is not too bad. Approval is okay. Growth rate plus 10%. Research normal, okay. Republic. Wow. Reply is 60% from colony. Jeez. Minus cost, like that's 30% difference. So that will bring it at 9,000. Warriorness normal. Approval normal. So we're going to lose that 40%. Growth rate normal. Research plus 10%, plus 10%, minus 15%, and then plus 60%. So that's going to help us as well. Democracy. Wow. Democracy plus 70% in colony income, which is not too bad. The maintenance cost is going to be 20. Yeah, okay. All right, well, that's a 55% difference, but the research minus 20%, no. Research minus 10%, honestly, a good compromise would be monarchy. Monarchy, we're going to lose the 40% approval, which is pretty huge for us, for our victory condition, but we still can change later. And we still going to have the same income from the colony, but 40% difference there. Growth rate plus 10%, which is, not bad to reach our cap faster. So, it's... yeah, military dictatorship, I think I know that that's going from plus 40% to minus 10%, but I mean, that's one of the best options. It doesn't affect the research rate, increase the growth rates. It doesn't penalize the research. It reduced by 30% the thing there. So yeah, I mean, yeah, or monarchy. Monarchy could be a good solution. It could really be a good solution. So we're going to keep that in mind. All right. And this already, it will cut this from 12,000 to almost 7,000. Just like that. Right. While helping us growing our population. But we need to think about something. Whenever we change the government, as I say, it's going to create a revolution, which is going to make the civilization unstable. Plus, it's going a little bit against the idea of the playthrough a little bit for a while, because the idea is to create an utopia. So if we are going from the utopian paradise to monarchy, then yeah, but it's not utopia anymore, right? But it's something to consider. Like if we are in trouble, it's something that we could do. The other thing that we can do is looking at our taxes, try to raise the taxes. The third thing that we can do is looking at our maintenance cost here. And we can see, okay, so the base is going to give us approximately 1K. We don't have any revenue from our resource base at the moment, and no revenue from the foreign trading, which is a big factor for us. So there's something that I'm wondering, if I go in the energy, we have researched the energy collection. Now, why I'm saying that and why this is important, it's important because if we look at our resource base, which is here, So at the moment it has fuel. But I noticed that at some point there is no fuel. And I think by putting some energy collectors there, because the planet is not too far away from the sun, actually is from the closest planet to the sun, we'll be able to reduce the amount of fuel consumed, which means that we'll have more time with people on board generating revenue for us. So that could be one thing that we can do. I don't think it's going to make a huge amount of difference, but it's definitively going to help to retrofit our bases to have at least a few energy collectors so they are less dependent on fuel. The other thing is to reduce the amount of bases, because I made, I think, a little bit of a mistake at the beginning of the playthrough, because I played the Securan race the same way that I played the Borg, or that I played other races that are a little bit more warlike or logistic wise. Generally those races have a pretty decent they have a pretty decent maintenance cost bonus, like maybe minus 20% or 40%. So that's why I have the habit of constructing mining bases, right? But if we look at our assets, so that's the construction yard. So that's constructors, right? So here we can see the maintenance costs. So we have here 6 constructors, and they each cost, let's say 1,500, 1,200, right? And this is our spaceport, which is 6,100. So we don't want to make our spaceport weaker or take off things out of it, because I think I already took off the labs. So we want our spaceport to be strong and to be able to defend our planet. But we can see that our constructors are costing a fair amount of money, or credits, I should say. Another thing is, like, if we look at the mining stations, right? Mining stations, so there should be gas mining station and ore mining stations. We have 5 at the moment, right? So if we look at what they are harvesting, this one is harvesting steel. This one is harvesting gold and calcine, or I don't know, just harvesting gold. That's the fuel. So just gold. Yeah, okay. So this one is an important one, right? This one is harvesting, I think it's on the planet actually. And it's harvesting a fair amount of resources that are pretty important for us. So we definitively don't want to get rid of it. This one is harvesting steel, gold, lead, iridium. So that's pretty good. And this is our fuel source. So really, the one that we could potentially consider scrapping to reduce our cost a little bit would be this one, because we already have a steel mining station there. But the problem is, like, we can see that this station provides way more steel than the other one there, right? So now I don't necessarily know if that means that it's because it has been taken recently, or so. Let's select and go there. Okay. Yeah. It's 26%. Yeah, so the percentage of steel on this planet is pretty low. Alright. But it doesn't matter, because what we need to do is to be less reliant on station for a while and be more reliant on mining ships. Mining ships are the property of the private sector. So we do not pay for those ships. As far as I'm aware, I need to check. Yeah, you see, like ship and base maintenance cost. The maintenance of the ship and the bases for the private sector, they pay for it. So globally, what we are saying is, like, if we can increase the number of mining ships, and gas mining ships, then whenever there is a shortage of something, the gas ships, the mining ships should go fetch the resources and fill the spaceport or whatever the location is. So that's something else that we can do, right? Reducing the amount of bases. We also have a pretty big, as I said, like, so what is that? Utopia Prime Spaceport. Yeah, so that's our prime spaceport. We have other base. Okay, so this one as well, the Truth Seeker is 5,600 and the spaceport is 6,100. So that's almost 1,100 credits, 11,000, credits per month, but we are spending just for those two structures. Right now, very important structures. They are doing the construction of our ships and providing us research. So we don't necessarily want to mess with those. Yeah, we don't have any defensive bases. Yeah, exploration ship. We have a few, but we need them. They're not very costly. So, I mean, this is the few things that we can do. We can scrap this one to save 1,000. Scrap the other base, which gonna the other mining base with steel. This one, which will save us 1,300. So that's gonna bring this down to 10,000, right? And we could potentially try to see if we can make the research base less expensive to maintain. Right? Because, yeah, there is a fair amount of research station, which is okay. But maybe because at the moment, in terms of research, we are not using the full potential. So we can take off some of the research lab and put it at 150 each. So that will reduce the cost of maintaining this base, and maybe also some of the habitation labs. So that will reduce the cost of this, which will reduce the cash flow deficit. All right. So that's the kind of thing that we can do, and I think I'm gonna begin to action some of those stuff because yeah. So, and I want to get rid of this one because this is on path of being retrofitted. And therefore, we can go there and just say, instead of going retrofit, retire to the nearest shipyard. So that's his new order. What else? What else can we do? Mining station. Yeah, we're gonna get rid of this one as well. Select, go to, yeah, so that will scrap immediately the base, which is a little bit unfortunate. I see. So this is a perfect illustration, right? Because if I'm not mistaken, yeah, the resort base is also a mining station. I constructed it that way. So it's already harvesting the steel. So globally in here, there is a duplication. We have the resort base that is generating money with the people as a tourist activity. But it's also harvesting, so we don't need that station. It's a mistake. It shouldn't have been constructed in the first place, and that is costing us 1,300 credit per month. So we're gonna scrap this immediately. All right. Actually, yeah. Okay. No. All right. I didn't see, like, the station was hiding the moon. Okay, the station was hiding the moon, so it was on the other moon, but it doesn't matter. We already have the resort base that is mining there. And honestly, we can have mining ship coming and mining if necessary, right? So that is going to also reduce the amount of cash flow. And now we're going to also look at the design of the starbase. So if we look at the state bases and we go into resort base, we are going to no, that's the wrong one. That's the resort base. I want to see the actual starbase. Where is the starbase? Here you go. So we're gonna take 5 of each out. Yep. And that should allow us to take a few of the life support out. Right, so we're already at 5,681 instead of 4,681 instead of 56, and I haven't taken off the crew. Oops. Okay, so we're at 4,640. Not worth it. I prefer having the shields there. It's too important. All right, so let's do that. And we're going to save there another 1,000 credits per month. Perfect. So what we got to do now is like we're going to request... Oops. We're going to request the starbase to be retrofitted to this design. And you see it costs nothing because we are taking off stuff. Perfect. So we are taking off stuff. So normally with what we just did there, we saved 1,000 there, 900 from the constructor, and 1,300 from the base. So that's 23, that's 3,200 credits. So this should go around 9,000 cash flow, right? 9,000 cash flow without changing too much in the game, right? Here we have 9% and 61 approval. So I personally think that we could potentially raise that at 20 and see what they, if that impacts their reproduction. Not really, at least not at this moment. All right, and that is gonna also allow us to still have a pretty good reproduction, right? 25,000 credits. Oh, enhance shield, enhance space reactor. All right, so power efficient reactor. Power efficient reactor. So that is supposed to just be an improvement, which is pretty important, guys. This is very important. What does it mean? It means that potentially, if I go here, the power source, the reactor, which is the power efficient reactor, should output way more energy than the base needs, right? We have here 288, and we need 12 for the shield, so that's 300, right, globally. But we are generating 441. So let's take one off. Let's take 2 off. And normally we should have more than enough, right? So that's going to reduce the cost. So I think we took 2 off. So if we put them back, we're at 61.51 for the maintenance. We take 2 off. Okay, so that reduced the thing there, which means we could potentially take off as well the crew quarters. Aha! We can't. Didn't save enough spots, but it's okay. Like it just makes the base more efficient. Same for the star base. So if we look at the power is 231, and the star base don't need anywhere near this power. Oh my goodness, why so much power? Okay, I'm just checking how much I'm saving right now. Alright, so we were at 4640. Okay. Yeah, that's fine. That's excess. So we have 5 reactors, 44, so that's what, 200 credit per month saved. So we're gonna retrofit that. The resort need only 21. Ooh, that's reverse. The resort needs more energy. Oh my goodness. Okay, well, let's put one more energy because yeah, 47 for the weapons, shields, armor. Yeah, that's fine. I'm fine with that. Also, Shonks, I forgot something. I said that I wanted to add energy collectors. Energy storage, energy collection 24. So technically, oops, sorry. That's 48. Yeah, that ramp up a little bit the cost a little bit, didn't it? Yeah, a little bit. Nothing too much. I can just put this on and see if it's saved. Actually, I will put 2, and I will add 1 crew in this. Okay, so that makes it a little bit more expensive, but we also had to add a reactor anyway, so that's fine. Also, I'm gonna add maybe a few energy collectors. That's right. Just to see if we can reduce the oh la 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 la. Just gonna put 2. Right. So I made some savings. Just gonna put 2 to see if that reduced the cost of the fuel. 42. Just gonna put 1 there. Don't need much more. We are good. All right, so let's close it. All right, so that, oh yeah, you see I'm already at 4878, and that is because I raised the taxes. Pretty sure if I look at the income, yep, 25. Right, so I'm just at -5 right now. Gonna retrofit to this design. We're gonna retrofit to this design, and the resort base. We're gonna retrofit to that design. Also, there is something that is very important for us to do, so we're gonna let some time pass. Engineer retrofitting, yep. So see, like the cost there is normally gonna go down slightly. All right, so we have a shortage in helium. All right, and this is something else that I was thinking. Is trying to improve the ships of the private sector, the design. Because if I'm not mistaken, we can construct ships up to 500 size, right? So if I go here and I just look at the private ships, and I look at the gas mining ship and the actual mining ship, okay, so we have mining extractors. But you see the size is only at 200, so we can make them slightly bigger. And even if there is a maintenance cost, we are not going to be paying for that. So this is a mining ship. It's not a gas mining ship. So we're going to add to this ship 2 more extractors, 1 more luxury. It's as well super slow. My goodness. I'm gonna try to change that. There's enough energy. Why is it so slow? Okay, 10 should suffice. The range as well is not good enough. It's I think it's a while where we haven't improved that. So I want that thing to be able to go fairly far, you know? Because it's got here's the thing, is like not only the ship needs to go far, but it also needs to be able to mine for an extended period of time. So habitations. The engine went down again. Just a little bit, not too much. Yep, we good. Okay, and it doesn't have any shields. I don't know why. Like I should put at least 2 shields because they're gonna carry some resources. We don't want them to be destroyed that easily, and we're gonna increase the storage space as well. So like that, they can be mining a fair amount and moving the quantities pretty quick. That's why I want them to be able to have more extractors so they can mine faster. And there's also only 2 luxury resources, so I think I will put another one there. I'll put four actual mining and 4 luxury. We're gonna put the habitations again. So we see where we are reaching the cap. And we're gonna save. What? Oh no, it's not a gas mining ship. This is the ore. Wow, mining ship. Okay, let's look at the gas mining one. Yeah, 200 as well. Now this one doesn't need the luxury extractor, so we're gonna give him 6 extracting gas, and I also want to have way more storage capacity. So they're gonna carry a lot of fuel, and I want them to have a better range, almost like 2 sectors, so they can go far away. I'm gonna give them a little bit of armor. Oh, that's a fair bit. 2 more, and some shields, some engines because it's super slow, and again some habitations and crew quarters. There you go. So this is going to help us a lot, guys. As well, is there something to detect resources? Like a resource detector. Resource profile sensor. There's already one. Oh, no, they were not. Okay, so that means that when they're gonna be going on planets, they will be able to maybe detect additional resources that hasn't been originally found. So I need to add that on the other one as well. It's just a little trick that I just want to experiment with it. It may work, it may not, but but you see, like spending time on the actual private sector ship is pretty important as well. Freighters can be also pretty good. I think I upgraded it. Yeah. That's fine. Freighters are fine. Also, freighters, I want them to be equipped with the resource. That's the proximity array, the resource. Why? Because sometimes those ships go maybe that ship doesn't need as much power. No, it does. Sometimes those ships go in mining station to move resources, and if, for example, they go in mining station from our allies, it may detect in those areas additional resource. But I'm just, as I said, like I'm just experimenting with the idea, and I'm not necessarily sure if that's going to be profitable. But I just think like having more eyes for additional resources is not necessarily a bad idea. Okay, here you go. So this should instigate from the private sector to, how can I say, retrofit their ships. And also, I think what I will do is that I will go in the private bases. Oops, sorry, I don't want to go there. I just want to go in the mining stations and request that all the mining ships are being retrofitted to the new design. And I want that to be retrofitted to the new design as well. So that means that in theory, the private sector will have to pay us, which already they are doing, right? So if we go there, we should see okay, interesting. Okay, so this progress, I'm not seeing the amount. Maybe this hasn't been updated yet. Oh, chunks. This costed us money. Because we retrofitted the bases, but it wasn't that much. Jeez. The ships are moving? Why? Are we being attacked? We're moving away from the giant crater. Okay. Okay. We're gonna need our home defense fleet taking care of those bugs. Okay, so we lost one ship. I presume that there is a fair amount of ores that we can... and you see, like, for example, if mining ships are going on those asteroid fields, they can, because they have the detector, they could detect new resources. So, on those asteroids. There you go. Yeah. All right. So I think the fleet did its purpose. So we're gonna request the fleet to repair the damaged ships. Here you go. Why are you moving away? They're all coming back. Escape from the crater. Yeah, okay. So they're all coming back now. What is being attacked or? No, I think they're okay. All right, but we can see there I earn a bunch of additional cash. I would be interested to see where it comes from. Spaceport, boom. So that is, I think, all the ships. So let's have a look at our spaceport. Let's see what's going on. Wow, you see? The private sector is requesting additional ships, right, to be constructed. So if we go in here and we look at what is the construction, oops. So we can see that, yeah, it's a bunch of freighters, really, I think. Yeah, that's unfortunate. It's a bunch of freighters. So that's good. So that's more money in the bank for us. So you see, like, from a situation where we were, you know, negative 20,000 cash per month, we went to 3,400 credits per month negative with a bunch of money in the bank account, right? So that's a good little trick, and we didn't even need to change our government, right? And if we look at Utopia, okay, so the population decreased slightly. So I may want to decrease the tax so we are back at 9%, because I really want that population to be always growing at 9%. So I may put it at 17% and see how we go. Oh, is that another giant crater? Okay, let's go there then. The missile can reach the crater from there. Oh my gosh, the space station is defending the mining station. Wow, the range. Ah, that's cool. So the maintenance of our troop, they reduced by 10%. Yeah. Yeah, we don't have many troops, so that doesn't change much, but wow, the crater is coming towards our base. Wow, you see, like 3,200. So yeah, the cash flow went back up in terms of deficit, but it wasn't as big as before. It wasn't 12,000. It's almost half of it. So we can sustain it, and we have a bunch of money in the bank account now, so we can pay for it. So we're gonna request the fleet to be repaired and refueled at the nearest spaceport. And I think we're gonna end the video here because it's already 43 minutes. So thank you very much for watching the video. If you like what you see, please leave a like and subscribe. That will be very handy for the channel. If you have constructive feedback, please leave them in the comment section below, and I will catch you on the next episode. Thank you guys. Bye.